So hello and welcome to iTech. My name is Akshay, and today in this video we will learn what is IELTSM and ILSM. Okay, so as I said in previous video, I will show you guys how we can see intermediate language code by using some tools. So we can see intermediate language code using IELTSM tool, and also we will see how we can assemble or reconstruct intermediate language back into an assembly using ILSM. Okay, so we will see what is IELTSM and ILSM, how to disassemble and see intermediate language code using ILSM, how to assemble intermediate language back to assembly using ILSM. Okay, so let's see that in action, and for that let's jump into the Visual Studio. Now here it is a simple console application, the same example we have seen in the previous video. So let's see first it works. I'll press Ctrl F5. So it's working fine. It's showing the output as hello world. Now let's go to the assembly folder. Open folder in File Explorer. Bin, debug, Netcore app 3.1, and as you can see here, assemblies are present here. So now to disassemble this assembly, we need Visual Studio command prompt. That is, it is different from simple command prompt. That is normal command prompt. It is developer's command prompt. So we will find that in Start menu. We'll search for Visual Studio. So I have basically Visual Studio 2017 and 2019. So whatever version of Visual Studio you have, you can choose that and go to folder and go to folder of that. So I have Visual Studio 2019 here. So I will go in that Visual Studio 19 folder. So here developer command prompt for Visual Studio is there. I will right click that and run it as administrator. Okay, so now we have to go to this, either we have to go to this path, or let's say we have to give this full path. Okay, so we want this assembly name as well. So I will copy this from here. Actually I have to copy this DLL. Okay, I will paste that here and I will copy this full path. Control C, and I will use IELTSM.exe. So this .exe is optional. If you want to use it or not, you can, or you can just simply write IELTSM. Okay, so that's also fine. And I will paste that path here. Okay, and now, so as I have explained you in previous video, something that Visual Studio is generating both the DLL and exe as well. So why it is doing something like that, so that will be clear to you guys in this video. Okay, so I am using .dll file here. As you can see, this full path as well as the name of the assembly, that is .dll1. What if I use .exe? What will happen? I will show you. If I use this, so it shows some error that the file has no valid CLR header and cannot be disassembled. So that is why this Visual Studio has two files. Okay, so one is .exe and one is .dll. So that exe file is of no use without that DLL file. Okay, and that will be clear to you guys in this video. Okay, till the end it will all be clear. Okay, so let me use .dll file. Okay, actually this is the correct assembly. So this assembly contains manifest as well as this intermediate language code. Okay, so I will show you something. Now as you can see here, this is your high level language code and this is your intermediate language code. Okay, so as you can see, the namespace is console app 2, and you can see here as well, this is the namespace name console app 2, and this namespace consists of this class program. Okay, class program. And if you go down, this has the type of the class. So this class is not public, so by default it will be private. Okay, so as you can see here, this class is private and has one constructor. Okay, so if you don't see here any constructor, so the constructor that you can see here is default constructor, one constructor which is provided by compiler itself. And as you can see, there is one static void main method. So you can see here, this is main method void, and this s denotes a static. Okay, so this is your high level language code, and this is your intermediate language code. Okay, and now what is this manifest? So what this manifest consists of? This manifest consists metadata. So what is metadata? Metadata is nothing but the information about the information. So this manifest consists of every information about the assembly itself. Okay, so for example, what is the name of assembly? What is the version of assembly? So as you can see here, the name of assembly is console app2. The version of assembly is this. So we have not talked about version. What is versioning? So it is very important part that versioning also helps us to solve the DLL issue. We will see that in our upcoming videos, that what is DLL issue and how to solve it. So for now, just remember this, that this assembly contains this name as well as this version, as well as if we double click this manifest, you will find all the assembly information here. Okay, so all these things we will see in detail in our upcoming videos, that what is this public key token, external system console. For now, just understand that this is your assembly, this is your assembly's metadata, and all the information about your assembly is stored here. Okay, so again, I have told you something in our previous video, that how .NET finds assembly or locates assembly at runtime. So this is because of this metadata. .NET find or locate the assemblies at runtime because of this manifest file. Okay, so it will see the information in this manifest, that what is the assembly, or does that assembly have any reference assemblies. Okay, does this assembly depends on any other assemblies. Okay, so that I have showed you in previous video, that how one assembly can be dependent on another assembly, when I explained that how we can give reference of one project to another in another project. Okay, in case you have not watched that video, I recommend you guys to go and watch that video first, and actually both the part of this video tutorial series, part 1 and part 2, to understand this better. Okay, so now I have shown you that how using that ILDASM tool we can see the assembly's intermediate language code. Okay, so now I will demonstrate to you guys that why the Visual Studio is producing both .dll and .exe file. Okay, as well as why it is doing that, so as well as why it is producing both the files. The reason behind it I will also tell you. Before that, I will show you that we have seen this intermediate language code using ILDASM tool. Also, what it can do, also it can export the file. Okay, it can export this file as well in a text format. Okay, how I will show you. We have one option here, that is dump. We will click on that. We will click OK, and we will choose any name, and I will type any name here. Okay, so maybe console IL, and I will save that. Okay, so I have saved that file in this new folder. Okay, so console IL, and if you can see, we will edit this. As you can see here, this is all your intermediate language as well as manifest contained in this file, which is in text format. Okay, so now, is there any way to reconstruct assembly from this intermediate language file, from this text file? Okay, that we will see. So for that, I have to copy this path with the file name. I will copy this and go to developers command prompt and I will use IL as well. So now again exe is optional if you want to use it or not. Control V. Okay, so I have to put this into inverted comma. Okay, I will run. Okay, so operation completed successfully. So it must have produced the assembly on the same location. Okay, so here it is. It has reconstructed assembly back from this textual file. Now, if I run this file, it will not run. Okay, so it is showing it have thrown some exception that we will see what it says. That unhandled exception system.io file not found exception could not load file or assembly. Okay, so basically it is not able to find out the assembly which has the information as well as the metadata about that assembly, if this assembly is dependent on any other assembly and everything information. Okay, so this exe file cannot run without DLL file which contains all the assembly information. Okay, like this. If we go to, let me build this project first. So build succeeded. I will go to folder in File Explorer, bin, debug, netcore app 3.1. As you can see here, this assembly will work. Okay, so it's printing hello world message because it have this DLL file, and this DLL file basically have every information about that assembly as well as the intermediate language code. So why is that so? Because in earlier versions of Visual Studio, the console application was generating only .exe type. So all the manifest, all the intermediate language was contained in that same file, as well as that same file was responsible for showing the output. Okay, but now in the newer version of Visual Studio, for example, I myself using Visual Studio 2019. Okay, and in this version of Visual Studio, it generates both DLL as well as exe. Though it's a console application, so basically one file is .dll is used to store assembly information, and one file .exe is responsible for showing output that we have seen. I have proved that in this tutorial that this .exe file is of no use without that DLL file, basically that information about that assembly. Okay, so moving on. And before that, if you have not yet understand why this .dll and both .exe is produced, so let me give you simple example that this .exe file is responsible for showing output, but this DLL file is the one which contains all the assembly information, that is manifest as well as intermediate language. So this exe is needed by Visual Studio's runtime environment. Actually, this exe file needs one hosting environment that Visual Studio provides. Okay, so that's how it's work. Now moving on. Okay, so now as I have told you that this manifest contains information about the assembly. Okay, so it contains this version. So we will talk in detail about this versioning, that how it helps in solve DLL help problem, and what basically first of all the DLL help problem is. Okay, that we will see everything, but let me show you something before that. In this video, okay, this version can be changed and we can handle this versioning from Visual Studio itself. Okay, so let me go to console application project, right click on properties, there we will go in package. Okay, so as you can see here, this is a package version, this is a product version, not assembly version. So assembly version is here. As you can see right now, assembly version is 100, as you can see here. Okay, this is the assembly version and this is assembly file version. Okay, so both these things are different from each other. How that I will show you. Let me first change this version. I will change that to 2. I will save that. and I will build this project. Control Shift build. Okay, so it is being used by some another process. First we have to close that. Now I will build this again. Okay, so build succeeded. We'll again go to assemblies folder, bin, debug, netcore app 3.1, and we will follow the same procedure. I will take this whole path with assembly's name itself. I will Control C, copy this, and again go to developers tool. I will run it as administrator. Okay, so I will again do ILDASM, that path name. Okay, now as you can see here, we have changed that version to 2. Okay, but this is the assembly version. Sorry. Okay, now we will see what is that assembly file version. Okay, now as we have assembly here, we will see both the assemblies version, assembly files version. We'll go to properties, and in details you can see here product version is 1 basically and file version is 1. Okay, and this properties we will check that this assemblies version is also 1.00. so now we'll try to change that also. We will make that, let's say 3. I will save that. I will build this project. Again same mistake, we have to close that process, so I will close it. I will build this again. Okay, so build succeeded. Okay, so I can go directly also. It gets refreshed every time we build the project. Okay, so we'll see in properties. Okay, so file version is 3. So this file version and that assembly version are two different things. If you want to change the file version, you can change that from here, and if you change the assembly version, you can change that from here. Okay, so now let's see the summary. An assembly contains two things, that is manifest and IL, that is intermediate language code, that I have explained. We can modify information in manifest by right clicking into projects properties options from package section. Okay, that's what I have just showed you, that how we can alter the assembly version information as well as files version. Okay, so again third point is ILDASM, that is intermediate language disassembly tool is used to see manifest and IL. We can export that IL and manifest in text file using this tool. Okay, ILSM, that is intermediate language assembler tool, is used to reassemble or to reconstruct an assembly from back from that text file or text file containing manifest and IL. Okay, so that's it from my side. We will see in our upcoming videos that what is strong name assemblies and weak name assemblies, and we will see in detail in next video. Okay, so till then stay tuned and thank you.